Good morning. I'm going to be doing stuff as we're talking because I'm trying
All
to
right.
rearrange some things. It is the 21st of March. So we're already like yesterday was the first day of spring, and
Mm,
everybody gets excited about that, but it
yeah.
doesn't really change the weather pattern too much for a good week or two. So, as much as we know it's spring, it doesn't really look like spring or act like spring, I don't think,
Nope.
right away. But today's not too bad in the New England area. It's kind of almost 50, so it's not bad. Sun's out.
Yeah. Sun's out. Oh, windy.
Yeah, and snow might be coming, but like I don't really worry about spring snow because it's nothing like we just that February nonsense we just got. It can't I it can't be like it's just not going to ever be as bad as that was probably
Yeah.
for a long time. Because that was a record that we made on that last snowstorm. So that's good. So we're not going to be. I don't mind if it snows for like an inch of snow. I actually like an inch of snow. It's nice. I just don't like 5 feet of snow in 3 weeks. That's not my thing. Or it's
No.
almost 6 feet of snow. That's too much. You know what I mean?
Way too much. Way
Too
too
much.
much.
Too much. So
Mhm.
I mean, if it snows a little bit between now and whenever the actual temperatures start changing, that's okay. We're not going to worry about that. That's what do you call it? Like flurries or whatever.
Yeah.
It's picturesque. So that's fine. I'm just going to drop a little, if I can find it. All right, so I guess I'll have to do 4 things at once, and here we go. So I'm trying to get everything set up for this podcast as we're doing it. So, how are you doing, Kenny? What's going on for you? Anything exciting?
I I am doing great. Just exhausted.
That's good. Yeah.
Exhausted. This work was exhausted this week, but I survived. I
Well, that's good.
survived.
That's good. That's
I
really what we're
survived.
trying to do, right? Survive.
Yep.
I think everybody. I don't know about. I don't know about who's watching right now, but um, I don't know what kind of week you've had, but everybody I know has pretty much had like a crap week that I've just heard everybody that I've talked to say this week has been like ridiculous. Like I hate it. Like
Mm.
I'm over it. I don't know if it's just me or what, but it seems like that's what everybody's saying. So I don't know if you believe in like Mercury in retrograde or anything like that. That's uh I'm a Gemini kid. So if you believe
Mm.
in horoscopes, which is debatable,
Mm.
retrograde should technically be like my element. And so therefore it's almost like when it's in retrograde for me, I'm actually happier. I have a better life in retrograde than out. But most people find it challenging. They say that it bothers, it gives them technology issues and logistical issues and things like that. So I don't know if you believe that maybe that's why it's a bad week for some people.
Mm.
I know, I know. So this is Irish Week. This is episode 66 for 2026.
Mm-hmm.
We're in season 3.
That's crazy.
I know. Where does the
That's
time go,
crazy.
Kenny?
I don't know where
Where
the
does the
time
time
went.
go?
I do not. I know.
Where do it go, man? Well, I think that we got Easter coming up next, and we're just buzzing through the year. We have lost a lot of celebrities so far this year. That's been crazy. You know, every time we say okay that we're done, that's enough. Then another major thing happens, right? So
Yep. Yep.
April Fools is next. Yeah, true. It's like right underneath Easter,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah. So where's my list? I'm gonna be discombobulated today because I think we're all like getting off on a bad foot this morning. We're just not organized, right? So
Hey.
Kenny's starting us off with local news.
Yeah.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the graphics will help.
Yeah. This is
Who you
more of
got,
a
Kenny?
this is a more local news slash maker on say what. So you're a pet owner,
Okay.
right? Okay. So and
Yeah.
you live in Rhode Island or near Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're thinking about owning adopting a monkey as a pet, think twice. Last week,
Okay.
the state passed a law that you are not allowed to own a monkey as a pet. It is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That,
Department of Department of can't DEM says you cannot own.
Department of Environmental Management. What city was that? What state? What little town?
Rhode Island.
Oh, in Rhode
Rhode
Island.
Island.
I'm sorry. The whole state?
Yeah, Rhode Island. Whole
Okay.
state. Yep, can't own a monkey. But
all right.
I want you to know that these are the things you can own as a pet: cattle,
Okay.
horses, sheep, swine, water buffalo, yak, and llamas. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think the last three are a little bit regional.
Yeah.
So, you would have to import those creatures or import those beings from another part of the country, but and they would not do well here. I'm surprised that that's. You know what? I will say this: Rhode Island has a lot of like weird old laws that just like nobody ever looks at.
Yeah.
So that's probably something that came from like the 1700s, the 1800s, like the actual agricultural days. I would not be surprised if like there's really, really odd stuff that sits in the books for laws that like most people just don't. They didn't change them, and the world kind of moved along and did stuff that's different. But if you go back, you could still do those things because nobody ever like put any kind of, you know. I think that's why that's when it comes to Rhode Island. I have friends of mine and we talk about this all the time. Just like the weirdo stuff that's on the books that at one point made sense. Like it at one point in the era that it was in, it had to be written for something that was popular at that time, and then just sort of it went out of style and just nobody went back and amended the law, and it's just sitting there. You can own people that act like pigs, Ron, but I'm not sure why you would want to.
Yeah.
I always make the joke of, if can I keep human beings can I keep like men in my basement? Is that something? And I don't like if it's not on the books, it's probably fine, right? Like they have to make a law to say you can't do that.
Yeah.
In order for me not to do it. But if it's not a law, then it's like sort of a free for all, right? Like I just go to if it hasn't been thought of, then I can do that, right? As long as I feed them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Hey, if you
Kenny for local news. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry.
That's it. But if your neighbor can order a pet water buffalo, then hey, why not? Why not? Why not?
Yeah, right.
Why not? Why not? Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I keep men in my basement. I'm just asking if that's something I could do. That's all I'm saying. I ask, and so far the answers are not no. I don't get no's, so I might make this yes. Anyway, it's just a running joke I have. How do you house a water buffalo? How do you water a house buffalo? Is that where you're gonna go next, Ron? Because I'm starting to get used to your humor. How do you water a house buffalo? Very carefully.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that is your local news.
That's it. I was so into this. I was waiting for the next thing. But yeah, if you're from, well, it doesn't even matter if you're from Rhode Island, because if you're not, you can just look. Everything's online, so you could just go online and look at like laws.
Yep.
Probably every state has all these little weird, like regional laws that belong to them that have something to do with something that happened at some point, and it was like enough that a bunch of people went down the town hall and created like a stink about something, and a law got written up, and then 50 years later it just became like not an issue anymore, and so everybody just forgot about it. If you're watching us, you are watching us live, and where you're watching us, I'm watching Ron's comments today. I probably should not.
Don't do it.
You're watching us on Kick, YouTube, Rumble. That's those little right there at Rhode Island Broadcasting. You're watching us on Twitch at RI_Broadcasting, and you're watching us on X or Twitter at I'm sorry, Elon, but I'm just not going to call it X. I don't want to. At Broadcasting RI. If you're driving around or you just don't feel like looking at us, which that's fair, and you just want to listen, we are on. I've got to get my list together because it's easier to look at the screen. I'm telling you, I am so not organized today. All right. So we got Spotify, we got Red Circle, we got TuneIn, we got iHeartRadio, we got Amazon Music at RIBroadcasting. And then all of our social media. There we go. MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Gab, Parler, Space.
Hey!
And Patreon. All of that is at RI Broadcasting. So pretty much any social media, just go to at RI Broadcasting and you'll find us.
Yep.
With the exception of Facebook. And we used to have that for Facebook, but there's a whole long traumatic story about why you don't anymore. And now it's at Going On Daily Morning Show. What is Pickaxe? I don't know what that is. And if we... So you got to add that in, and you got to let us know about that, because I don't know what that is. Oh, brand new? Oh, well. So we're not only are Kenny and I a little discombobulated today, but so is the guy running the show. We've had to yell at him to get our information this morning. Or at least I did. So yeah, that's all of our social media, and that's all of our platforms that you can listen to and watch us on. And then at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net, which is underneath Kenny, that's where the website is, and that's kind of where everything I just mentioned is listed. Yep. And perhaps Pickaxe is also listed there too. I don't know, but it must be. So if you're looking to see what it is I just said, because you've missed all of it, that's where to go. So when you go to the website, you have a Hall of Fame to vote for, right? So right now we're doing 60s male actors. And these are the actors to choose from: John Wayne, Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, Jack Lemmon, and Sean Connery. Those are the ones to vote from. That QR code between me and Kenny, if you just want to click on that, it'll take you straight to the site, so you don't have to go and type it in. Yep. But that's where to go to vote all through the month of March. And I think, who was ahead of the game? Who's the one who's out front right now? And at what percent?
I think
so Sean Connery's at 70% right now.
Wow.
So that's the one winning. If you're not a fan of Sean Connery, you don't think he should win this, and you got to go in there and vote and get your particular actor some percentage so they can get some leverage on that, because it looks like Sean Connery is going to take it at this point. Now we have like another week or so to go. So we've got time for it to change.
Plenty of time.
But Sean Connery, 70% is pretty, it's pretty stinking. All right, so, and now here we go. And I'm going to put my list up so I can remember where I'm at here, because, so, also, I think I was watching Becky. Well, I was watching Becky Wednesday and Thursday, and she was explaining it. So, and she kind of the episodes that Becky's are in, the episode she is in, she kind of goes into a little bit of detail. So if you're not, it's been a little while. So if you're not familiar with what happened, Becky went to Uganda for 2.5 weeks or so in February, and she ran into several things that are going on in Uganda. There's basically a school of children that they're looking to try to learn, but they don't actually have a roof for the building that they're in, due to the extreme heat in Uganda and everything else. So it's kind of like, hey, let's get together some donations. If you have coffee money, you have $5 or something, or $3 or something that you just, you can skip your coffee for a day. And go to the website under RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net/Uganda-donations. You can go in and, throw some money, a little bit of money. Doesn't take much. It's honest to goodness, like $2, $3, little teeny amounts, anything that you can. You don't have, I know that we're going through a time where there's a lot of we're worrying about prices of stuff, and I get it. But yeah, I think that a tiny little bit should help. You know what I mean? And there are very low donations there, and if it all adds up. So if you can do that, that would be great. Share that, or talk it up with people you know. And there is a YouTube. It looks like that we've got a link for it. It's all in the chat, so I can. Yeah, so the Uganda donations, blah, I can't talk. So right between me and Kenny is the actual link to go straight to it. And then there is a YouTube episode with Becky explaining everything with pictures and everything like that she did on that trip. That has been posted up. And I don't know, Ron, if you want to just kind of highlight that link, because I could read it, but it will sound like yeah, so there we go. Drop that right there into that's a URL for the episode. Becky came back from Uganda and was explaining everything that she did on that trip. From seeing animals to, it was, there was a lot of things that she did, but for the most part, the donations are for children that don't have. Right. Yeah. So that link right there we have. That's right between me and Kenny. But yeah, click on that link to go straight to the donation page. And I think that's it for paying the bills, as they say in radio. We just paid some bills. Right?
Right. Yep.
And we're back to I'm gonna look at the screen, Ron. I'm just gonna follow that today because it's like, yeah, there we go. So I see, that's what, yeah, okay. I did not, you're right, Ron. I did not expect that. I didn't. I really thought I was gonna see that coming, but I did not.
That's it. Yeah.
So the world is going to hell in a handbasket and all that, right?
Yes.
And our daily news is just like bleak and ridiculous and all that stuff. And then out of left field, I don't think it's out of left field so much. It's just that we're being inundated with so much nonsense that we're not really following like stuff anymore to know when anything is happening, right? So this particular story about Afroman is not like coming out of the blue, right? But his trial this past week, was related to something that started it. That's my sister. Hey, Sissy.
Hey, sister.
The trial that's going on now dates back to 2023, and then that dates back to 2022. And there's a whole story behind it that probably we could have been following if we were not flooded, with it seems like 99 years ago, right? Based on everything else that's going on. But this trial happened this week. It went extremely viral. And in my opinion, it's kind of like the story that we needed just to laugh. Like, it was one of those stories that we were just like, oh God, we needed this. We needed something just really funny. So the story is, and this guy by the name of Afroman, his name is Joseph Foreman, right? That's his real name. He started making music videos in 2023 and social media posts mocking the law enforcement officers who conducted a heavy-handed raid on his home in Ohio. So he had home surveillance video of August 2022, right, of this raid. He wasn't home, but these guys came in looking for like drug trafficking and kidnapping, like, so I don't really know what the deal is that tipped them off that they thought they needed to go here. But they busted into this dude's house. He wasn't home. His wife and kids were home. And they just, they went through his CD collection. They kicked his door down. They broke his gate, right? When I saw they went through his CD collection, I was like, what is that? Like, I don't even, what do you think you're going to find in somebody's CD collection? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you just looting? Like, sorry, but is that what that is? They went through his suit pockets. Then they were flipping through a wad of cash of his. Again, you're going to find cash in a wad of cash. I mean, what are you looking for in a wad of cash other than like to make sure you know how much it is? They took like 400 of it. Right?
Whoa.
Yeah. scared the crap out of his family, scared the crap out of his kids, right? So he wasn't home. His kids are 10 and 12 at that time, right?
Wow.
So he said to himself, he's like, of course they found nothing and they charged him with nothing. Like, so I don't know out of the blue why they came looking. I don't know what they did or where they were tipped off or what is the story behind. Well, they knew he wasn't home, but I'm trying to figure out what was the point of this? Like, why did they target him specifically? I don't know what was going on in that particular area of Ohio or whatever. Anyway, maybe they just, I don't know. Maybe they had 4 hours to kill. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, he said to him, I guess, but so he said to himself, he said, I asked myself as a powerless black man in America, what can I do? Yeah, that's exactly. I guess that's sort of funny, but yeah. What can I do to cops that kicked my door in and like attempted to, like he said, try to kill me in front of my kids? They don't really know that if they know he's not home, that's fine. But he felt like probably if he was there, it could have gone wrong. Like he could have been killed over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They steal his money and they disconnect his cameras. He said, the only thing I could come up with was make a funny rap song about them, right? And use that money to pay for the damages, which is absolutely brilliant, right?
Yep.
He created an album called Lemon Pound Cake, and there's a reason for that. Anyway, there's 14 songs on it. It has titles on it like The Police Raid, Why You Disconnected My Video Camera, Will You Help Me Repair My Door, right? Which, by the way, Will You Help Me Repair My Door has 9 million views or something like that on YouTube. That's 3 times more than, that original song he did, Because I Got High. That's only got like 3.9 million. And this Repair the Door video has like 9 million video. So he also sold some merchandise and he made like a bunch of memes, right? And so he's basically making fun of these people. Like he looked up all the people involved in this raid and he decided he was just going to troll these people, which is hilarious to me. He satirized the incident and everybody involved, right? He was poking fun at the deputies' appearances, comparing them to Family Guy's Peter Griffin, which is really funny, and Quasimodo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is also really funny, to more serious allegations of extramarital affairs and pedophilia amongst these department members, right? And so he was just like, they found no kidnapping victims, right? There was a song that was it Lemon Pound Cake, I think, is where he said they found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. There's a video where he's got the guy that like stops with everything he's doing in the house, and there's a lemon pound cake like in a cake holder or whatever, and the guy like stops and like gets a look at this pound cake, and it looks like he's like, oh my god, is that pound cake? It's just funny. So he makes a whole video about that, and one of my favorite parts of this is that the officers they sued him for defamation over this, and that's 2023 is when that started happening, right? So this is the trial. It's so crazy because it took this long to get into the courts, but this is the trial about that suit, right? All these deputies and everything were like, you know what, we're going after him because we don't like what he said, and our feelings are hurt by this whole thing. So they requested 3.9 million in damages, right? For humiliation, ridicule, mental distress. Okay? It's just hilarious. Embarrassment and loss of reputation. Okay? So he released group songs, including one that featured graphic and unfounded suggestions about Deputy Lisa Phillips' sexuality. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Sergeant Randy Walters said that his child had been humiliated at school over some of these posts. And he had come home afterwards in tears. Okay. And then, so the lawyer for them is trying to say that he perpetuated lies intentionally about his clients, right? And he said, even if somebody does something to you that hurts you, that you think is wrong, like a search warrant execution that you think is unfair, that doesn't justify you telling intentional lies designed to hurt people. That was the prosecution's theme of that, whatever they call it. Right. So like I said, it's crazy. So David Osborne is the lawyer for Afroman, and he argued. He's like, you cannot use the courts to silence criticism because it hurts your feelings. Like, you can't do that.
Right.
It lies under the First Amendment, right? So he said, I'm sorry they feel that way they do, but there's a certain amount that you have to take as a public official, which is part of your job as a public official. It's part of your duties, right? To be seen and whatever. The oppression that people get on you is what it is. What chilling effect does that have on the world we live in? You don't like what a public official does and you make a joke and you're dragged into court. Like, that's ridiculous, right? And so that's their defense. But here's an example of one of the officers testifying at the trial, because he said something in a song about one of these guys' wives was cheating on him with, like, Afroman. Like, it kind of reminds me of that Tupac song. Like, I nailed your wife, or I had sex with your wife, or whatever. Oh, yeah.
I hit him
like
up.
It was in the song, right? So the counselor is like, does it paint you in a false light? And the officer says, yes, that's my wife. That my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman. And the counselor says, but we all know that's not true, right? And so the officer says, I don't know. And so then there's this silence in the courtroom. And the counselor says, wait, you don't know if your wife's cheating on you or not? Like, that kind of thing. So basically, if you go after somebody for defamation, you then have to get on the stand and, like, break down everything that you're complaining about.
Right.
You know, and it has to make sense. And so the funny part about the trial is that it just came off as ridiculous looking for all of those police or all of those officials that weren't happy with what was being said about them. It just kind of came off as, like, kind of nonsense once they got on the stand and it got broken down about. And there was, we were talking earlier about this, the lemon pound cake. He made a whole song about this guy and this lemon pound cake that he saw on the kitchen counter, right? And I guess because of that, a bunch of people started trolling this guy by sending him free pound cakes. I don't know if it was at work or not, but he was, like, trying to explain how distressing it was that people were sending him pound cakes at work. And it's just funny. Like, so it's like, all right, you wanna tell people that you're being, harassed and this is terrible. Oh, the horror of getting free desserts at work, right?
Exactly,
Like,
right?
That's kind of what it comes off looking like when you get on the stand and you actually say it. And, we're living in a world where, honest to God, I don't think people really think what they're going to say or do. Like, they're like, don't think about what it's going to look like. They're just reacting to stuff, and they're not like, hey, how stupid am I going to look if I go after this lawsuit? So anyway, it's just really funny. And basically the decision was that they aren't allowed to accept them. Well, maybe not, but maybe they give them away to the community or whatever. But still, it's just really funny. After this decision, the decision was that he won. Afroman won in court. That's really basically what happened. And if you type in Afroman right now, like, you're just not gonna not be able to find the story. Like, there's so much to it, because they broke down a lot of funny parts of it, and it's just a comic relief for you. And so if you get a chance to, on your weekend while you're doing your stuff, look that up and just kind of, I think YouTube has a ton of stuff on it. Just look that up and, get yourself a good laugh over the weekend, but it's pretty funny. But yeah, he won the case, and he said, he felt rejoiceful. He feels great. He feels good. He feels, he's happy that the freedom of speech and common sense are kind of still around, at least when it comes to this particular case. He said, we did it, America. We did it. Freedom of speech. And he yelled outside of an Ohio court, surrounded by supporters, and a clip posted on social media after the verdict. And then during the trial, if you get a chance to see it, he was dressed in, like, so much red, white, and blue flag stuff that it was, it's patriotic, but it's also kind of funny. It was a red, white, and blue U.S. flag themed suit. And he's like, the whole raid was a mistake. He said all of this is their fault during the trial. And he said if they hadn't wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. Like, think about it. I would not know their names, right? They wouldn't be in my home because surveillance system. So there would be nothing for me to use for footage. And there would be no songs. Like, there would be nothing. So what they did is what they gave me, like, whatever you want to call it, the information to use what I used for my music videos and whatever. And so he won that case. Was okay for him to do, and I thought that was great. Because it was a stupid case. Like they should have never went to his house. Like what all was that, right? And then sued him for it. Like I just think that's crazy. So anyway, it was really, yeah, that suit right there is great, right? And so, in some ways, it was justice. It was justified as an American citizen that he got his freedom of speech, and they allowed him to win that case because it was really stupid that he was sued for that. So it was just a good story in the middle of everything else going on in the world. It was just nice, to see something other than, pain and suffering and everything else that we're dealing with today.
Yes. Right. Pain, suffering.
Yeah, Afroman. Afroman wins this week. Afroman wins the news this week. There's a few things that were interesting in the news, but that was one of the biggest ones this week that kind of came out of left field, and everybody was like, "Hey, this is hilarious!" So, good for you, Joe Foreman. You win, and we're and we're moving on from This Is Afroman. That was supposed to be a pretty good segment, and I don't know if it was long enough. But are we doing Today in History with Kenny? What is happening in history, Kenny?
Yes. Today, March 21st, 1952, 20,000 people attended the first ever rock and roll concert in Cleveland. Performers included Paul Williams and the Hucklebuckers, Tiny Grimes, and the Rocking Highlanders and the Dominoes.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what else do we have here? We have... that's all I have.
Really?
No, I have...
oh, okay.
1963, the final inmates and transferred off the Rock, America's most notorious prison, closed after nearly 3 decades. Alcatraz. It will morph into one of the country's most feared locals and one of the California's biggest tourist attractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard word that they were trying to open that. Weren't they trying to open that up this past year again and make it back into a prison?
Yeah.
Kind of silly, right? Kind of silly.
Very silly. Very.
Yeah.
Very silly. Very silly.
Yeah. Kenny, the king of 2-minute segments.
You know what? I'm coming after you.
Uh-oh.
Let me expose you. I don't want to have to expose. I don't want to have to expose nobody. Okay.
Well, if you do that, I have my coffee, so I have something to drink while I watch the show. So you're gonna go after him? I'll watch. That'd be fun.
What? The creature ejected from a jet fighter. First creature.
Yogi the Bear?
Fighter? Yogi the Bear.
What's Yogi the Bear about? It's probably something that we don't. What? I don't know. You want to join in on the segment, Ron? You got something to add?
Yeah, please do.
On the graphics.
On the graphics. Oh, there's a jet. Okay. All right. All right.
What?
Yeah, Yogi the Bear. That's him right there in the air. The bear was the first creature to be ejected from a jet and parachuted down. They wanted to test this ejection seat. Okay. And this is what they did to a bear.
Is that he's like...
That is an actual bear.
What kind of bear? Like a black bear? A grizzly bear?
Oh, I don't know what kind of bear it is.
Oh.
I can't see it.
It should just been a teddy bear.
Could be brown.
Put a little weight in it and make it a teddy bear and eject a teddy bear.
No, it was an actual creature. It was actually a bear.
We've done some not so fun things to animals in the past.
Yeah. And this is like the beginning of Bear Week.
Oh. This week coming up is Bear Week?
Is Bear Week. and this is what we did to a bear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
all right. Well, that's a segue, man.
I figured he'd have this one.
Oh, you didn't have it. What's up, Kenny? You thought you were gonna have that.
Yeah, I did.
Why would I have to?
And Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca debuted today. Not today, but back then.
Well, today in history.
Today in history.
I'm thinking that we were on to the
There's also
context
that Black Death incident too.
Black Death?
Yes, I know. It's all bad news. It's all bad
news. It is. But you know what? Bad news is still news.
It is still news.
I personally
think... But on a happy note,
yeah,
it's Matthew Broderick's birthday today.
What? Do you know what? I was just thinking of Matthew Broderick, and I'm not going to tell you why.
It's my boy.
It's a very long story involving SJP and all kinds of stuff. But I actually thought of Matthew Broderick today.
Ooh, I'm like Wilson from Home Improvement. Heidi ho, neighbor.
Oh, Heidi ho, neighbor. Heidi ho, neighbor.
The first tweet was sent today in 2006 by Jack Dorsey. There you go.
All right. Okay.
Jack Dorsey. Wow. And that's one of the guys that one of the founders of Twitter. I know that he actually recently came up with like a new messaging system that has to do with Bluetooth or something like that. And I don't have it in front of me, but I was looking at it at one point. So that's interesting. A messaging system kind of like social media, but you have to kind of use Bluetooth to talk because it doesn't use the internet. So if you have any interest in looking up something interesting and fun, that's a new story. The tweet said, all right, okay, I'm waiting. The tweet said, it says, just setting up my Twitter. Yep, that's Jack Dorsey's first tweet of his, once they put the platform up, Jack Dorsey's first tweet as the founder was just setting up my Twitter. See that?
All right.
March 21st, 2006. We're getting it done, man.
All right.
Yeah. So can you buy it back? Oh God, I wish. There's a whole story about on Jack Dorsey. They followed him around and asked him some questions. There's a documentary I watched on him, and what he thought it was going to be, and what they wanted it to be, and how they set up the algorithm. And then at one point or other, it became the ads got added to Twitter. The whole thing about how Twitter changed, and before they sold it, but the couple of iterations it went through. Before, of course, it got sold to Musk and all that other stuff. So, again, I'm a dork, and I go and watch shows about stuff like that. So I actually watched a whole documentary on Jack Dorsey and the rest of the founders and how they had a falling out and all kinds of stuff over what they thought Twitter should be. So,
there's always a falling out.
There's always a falling out. And I get it because. At some point, people start bending to commercialism. They start bending to marketing. You can make things what you want to make them, but you know that you have the power to change things and influence people. Some people are okay with that, and some people are against it. And I believe Jack Dorsey was one of those that was against it. I think they ousted him from that group because he did not want Twitter to become commercial.
Sad.
And the other two guys said, well, we do, and everything changed to the employees and everything else. So that's what happens,
First
think
Hall and
about,
Oates in that.
how, right? Everything.
First Hall and Oates.
Gets,
first Hall and Oates, and now this.
I know. Well, no, I think Hall and Oates made up, didn't they?
Nope.
Are you sure? I thought they made up recently.
Positive. I wish they did. So sad.
I had to go with Daryl Hall because I love Daryl Hall, so I had to side with him on that.
First the Fat Boys and now this. First the Fat Boys and now this.
I just watched that the other night. I swear I have that movie.
Boomerang?
I own it.
Boomerang?
Yes.
Boomerang?
Oh my God, Chris Rock? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Nothing to believe in anymore. And what was that line? You think Malcolm X died so you can walk around looking like a chump?
Yeah, right?
Yep. Boney T.
Pool is racist. Wait, what?
Oh God, Martin Lawrence. So was it Martin Lawrence? Yeah, he was the one doing all that, right? Oh my God,
Yep.
Boomerang is
Yep.
the best. I watch it all the
Yes.
time. Watch
Me
it all the
too.
time. And the older I get, the
Kirby.
more it's like, God, everybody was so young in that movie. It's crazy.
Right?
But yeah,
Kirby.
I threw it on. I
Kirby.
throw movies on to go when I'm like ready to go to sleep. There are certain movies or shows I'll throw on just to kind of in the background.
Yeah.
And Boomerang is one of those movies I know like I could recite from A to Z without even thinking about it. I've seen it so many times.
too.
Same thing with
Me
Harlem
too.
Nights. Harlem Nights is one of my
too.
absolute favorites. I know we're
Yes,
going down a
yes.
side path here, and it's nothing to do with anything.
Yes.
But Harlem Nights, like
Yes.
the more I see it, the better that movie gets, because it's just so
Yes.
many. Well, you don't have to watch it again, Ron. And I know you didn't like the end of that, but I will tell you, I don't know what series he's not. I think Ron's talking about The Sopranos. He might not be.
Yeah,
the end
that's
was
be tough.
bad, but the rest of that series was really excellent, and it's almost worth it to have the ending be as bad as it was. The whole series before it was worth watching.
Yeah.
You can't say it isn't. So yeah, but so yeah, you talked to David Chase about that, you know. David Chase has been talking about that for 20 years, and he says the same thing every time. Everywhere he goes, everybody tells him how horrible that ending was and how much they don't like what he did. And he's like, and think about it. You and I, Ron, are fans of Lost, and I know people hated the end of Lost. They hated it. But I always look at it like the writers and the people at the end of, you can't you can't end a show. You almost can't end a show on a good note. Like there's not a lot of shows that have ended where people were happy with this. Most people just don't want the show to end, right?
Yeah.
And so you can't end the show in any way that they're going to be like not criticizing how you did it. Like that's how I look at it, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff about Lost that bothered me. I think somewhere in season 3, not that they lost me, but they changed the direction of it, and it became a whole lot more fanatical, or what do you call it? Fantasy driven than I would have liked. It was supposed to be scientific, but anyway, what I do is I try to take people at their, like, that's art, that's the way they want to create something, that's their art, and if that's the way they want to end it, I have to take what they give me.
Yeah, true story.
I don't have to like it, but I don't know what criticizing does anything. Does it change anything? Does it bring it back? Doesn't, right? It's just the way. And how else was David Chase going to end that? Like, how else was he going to end it? It could have been, oh, we're all happy and we're still alive and, you know, puppies and rainbows and all that. But Sopranos wasn't that kind of show. So,
nope.
If Tony got taken out at the end of that show, that's what Tony would have seen. Although they did say that most of the cast watching that last show thought their TV, you know, everybody got mad and thought their TVs were busted. I think, I don't even think that James Gandolfini knew that was going to be the way it ended. He was even upset about it. So, you know, the actors just act and then they leave. They don't say what they're going to do with the footage or anything. Yeah, everybody thought it was cut off that night. We all thought HBO had problems. We all thought our TVs had a problem. And so once we found out what it was, you know, and then at some point the credits rolled, and then everybody went, "Oh, my TV's fine. It's just the ending was not, you know." But for a good minute, your TV just goes black and nothing's happening, and you're like, "Hello, hello." You know?
So anyway. What happened?
That's how I feel though about endings of series. Like you almost can't. I think like Friends maybe ended okay. I think maybe Cheers kind of ended okay. But I'm trying to think like back of things that MASH was probably one of the most historic endings in history, right? How are you gonna beat MASH, right? MASH did it a good way. That all right, we're all getting flown out of here or whatever it was. I forget the whole show, but so you can't do that every time. You're just not gonna be able to do it. Yeah, war's over. So you're not gonna. That's all. I'm just saying. They're not all gonna be diamonds, right?
Yeah.
So, some people aren't gonna like it, and I just look at it that way. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it isn't. So, I don't cry much about anything. Just because I don't. I have tear ducts, I do, but I just don't cry about much.
Boo-hooing.
I'm
She over
trying
here
to think.
boo-hooing.
I'm trying to think of anything that really made me cry at the end. I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. Maybe. I can't remember.
Me either.
Yeah. I don't know. You do the big thing where everybody gets in the same room and goes, "All right, this was great." Blah blah blah. I think the end of the Cosby Show was. Remember that? That was pretty interesting. They danced off. They danced off set. You remember that?
Yep.
And they just danced over to the audience, and then the cameras just follow them off the side of the set.
Theo's graduation.
Yeah. So that was kind of a cool way for them to end it. So I don't know. Some shows don't even get an ending; they just get yanked. They get canceled, and the author, the writer, the producer, they don't get a chance to even give closure to like everybody watching it. So could have been one of those things where they just got pulled off HBO and nobody even knew what happened.
Yep.
Right. Anyway, that was today in history. Oh, I don't know if you're done, Kenny, because we got into this thing where we start talking about something else, and
Yep.
You know how it is.
I know how it is.
The zoo was great. Some of the stuff you guys are talking about, I haven't even seen. For sure, I haven't seen The Office. I haven't seen The Zoo.
What's TWD?
Probably The Walking Dead. I haven't seen that either. I told Ron that I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a lot of shows. I can't even name the stuff that I haven't seen. People will be mad at me, but
I don't do zombies.
I like zombies, but they got to be. I'm very Goldilocks about it. They got to be done right. There's got to be a specific way that I like them. And like to me, World War Z was kind of the way I like it. The Second Dawn of the Dead. I like them. I like them in track shoes. I like them running. I like them fast. I do. But I know that's not George Romero's thing, so I get it. People that are old George Romero fans, they like their zombies to be kind of slow and twitchy. That's fine. That's fine. Everybody likes their thing. I like them like running. I like them running so fast that they run into things, knock their own heads off, like all that kind of stuff. That's fun.
That's deep.
So,
okay. All right.
I'll have to watch The Walking Dead someday. Just couldn't get past, I think, episode 3. I got to be in the mood for it. But so yeah, moving on. I think we're in a story. I'm gonna do a story about boomers, and I think that's where we're at right now.
Boomers.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing musicians now. Oh, see. All right. Is that really what we're doing, or is that a missed graphic? I want to make sure. Yeah, we're a little confusion this morning. Do it. Shia LaBeouf. I'm going to do it like Shia LaBeouf. Do it. Just do it. So poor Shia LaBeouf. He's having such a hard time getting arrested constantly. Right
yes.
now.
Yes.
I don't know what is going on with him.
Me neither.
It's crazy. But so being that we're doing Irish Week, I just wanted to like get into some Irish musicians, right? Okay. There's a lot more maybe for some people than you would think, or maybe you're a fan of these Irish musicians and you know exactly what I'm going to say. So what I have is like 10. Lost is not. Oh, you guys are talking in the comments, and so I got to stop looking at that because it's distracting me. Here are some Irish musicians that you may or may not know or follow. I'm going to start with Imelda May. Imelda May is actually pretty cool. I had not known about Imelda May, but just learned about her recently, and she's pretty cool. She's kind of rockabilly. And her music's pretty good. So Imelda May is one of them. James Vincent McMorrow, he's a guy that came along, and the only thing I could think of that people are going to know him for is Wicked Game, because he redid Chris Isaak's Wicked Game tune from I think 1990, I think. That old tune from Chris Isaak he redid. And I'm just going to name them in a couple of songs, and you could say what you want to say and whatever. But Van Morrison, who's one of my favorites, is an Irish musician, and everybody knows Brown Eyed Girl, but you got to listen to a song called Into the Mystic. What a tune that is. There's actually a lot of stuff by him that's pretty good. I mean, if you're an old classic rock person, Van Morrison's somebody that you're going to know a lot of his tunes. But yeah, for me, Into the Mystic was one of my favorite tunes like that. I don't know. It's just a very cool tune. Hozier. Van Morrison is an Irish musician. So Hozier is kind of Take Me to the Church is the song that he did, I would say, in the last 10 years. Like, he's really fairly new, right? That's Hozier, and I'm not sure, like, I don't have a whole list of stuff that he did. That's the only one that I know. But if you know of any other tunes that I'm not talking about, I don't know. I'll listen to this Colin James remake of Into the Mystic. I'll try. It's gonna be hard to top that one, but I'll try. You might be, I might like it. So yeah, Hozier, Take Me to Church that's a pretty cool tone. Like I said, it's very recent for a musician, and he's got a lot of other stuff that's pretty good, but that's the one everybody's gonna know. Probably Enya is somebody that most people know. I would say definitely my friends that are Gen X know Enya. Enya came out somewhere in the early 90s, late 80s. We had this weird ethereal theme thing that went on like towards, we had Gregorian chants. This is like the end of the 80s, or I'd say like 88. So we had and Enya kind of fell into that category where you were listening to sort of, I would say, I don't know what else to say it except ethereal music. There was just a lot of air and space in the song, and Enya was like that. And Enya got played so much because she was so easy to play in elevators and grocery stores, and like everybody that you could think of played that song because it was like pretty tame and almost backgroundish. So there was a point in time we got assaulted by Enya quite a bit. That's not the only song though. Say Louise, everybody is gonna know that one. She did do another one, and I don't have it listed here, but you're gonna maybe think of Westlife. Now I'm not sure if you know who Westlife is. But Westlife is definitely an Irish cultured musician, or bunch of musicians. If you've ever heard them talk, they're absolutely Irish. But the only song I know that I loved, I played constantly by Westlife, is Glad You Came. That's a song that I played constantly. They do have a song called My Love. If you're a follower of Westlife, they have a ton of music. However, if you're near US and you just kind of heard some stuff that crossed over, probably Glad You Came, if you go listen to it, is the one that you're gonna know. But Westlife's a good tune. Westlife is a good band, and they have a lot of good tunes. So, and they're kind of dancey. They're kind of dancey, boy bandish. What, I don't know what that is. So I'm not gonna. You can deal with that, Kenny. I don't know what Ron's talking about right there.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on either.
Everybody knows the Corrs. The Corrs are like, the name The Corrs is clearly Irish. And they did a song called Breathless, and Breathless is the song. If you listen to Breathless, go look it up. I don't think anybody, unless you're under a rock, has not heard Breathless. And that's, I want to say early I'm trying to think when. I mean, no, Breathless probably came out in the mid 90s. But then it got recycled a couple times in like movies and stuff like that. And I think most people would know it if they heard it. And they've done a lot of stuff too. And I feel like, I believe somehow or other they are associated with Sixpence None the Richer, but don't kill me if I'm wrong.
Hey, I love Sixpence None the Richer.
Yeah, Sixpence None the Richer did a song called Kiss Me. And
yes.
I believe somehow they recycled into the core. Somehow there's a connection there. But like I said, I could be wrong. And here's the stuff you're going to know real well. One of them is going to be Sinead O'Connor. You're going to know Sinead O'Connor. She was and she's one of my favorites. You're going to know Nothing Compares to You, but there's a bunch of other tunes by her that are actually really cool and really. She's got some good angry tunes. She's got some good activist-y tunes. She's, and the big story, of course, with her, and the reason that she fell off when she did was because she was way ahead of all of us on the Catholic Church stuff.
Mhm.
And somebody said
Preach, sister, preach.
right. She came. She was, God, I can't remember what year it was. Was it like 1990 or 90? She was around right around the early 90s, and she comes on Saturday Night Live, and I believe she was on with Andrew Dice Clay. I think that's the way it goes. And I can't remember. There's usually like, Lorne Michaels will go over with the musicians what it is that they're gonna be singing. I think like Nirvana did the same thing where they like said, I'm gonna do this, then they threw something else in there, like, because it has to be approved. And there were people before her that were doing that. But her mom had been like abused in the Catholic system as a kid, but was so like staunch as far as following the Pope and believing in the Pope and all that kind of stuff. And Sinead more or less was like really she was really what I'm gonna call disillusioned over it, or upset over it, because of her mother's belief in the church. And so that's kind of not saying that she did it for just her mother. She did it because of what was going on, and it was happening in Ireland at that time. Most people around here weren't on understanding what was happening. And then there's something called cardinal law. You can look it up right now. Cardinal law was out of Boston, Massachusetts, and that's where it hit here. But until it hit here, we didn't know what was going on. But in Ireland, like something like 75% of the followers of the Catholic Church stopped going to church over this. This was like a huge deal. I forget the name of the guy that they charged and arrested over there, but he was like an Elvis impersonator. I kid you not, that was what he was doing. And he was a church preacher over there, and he did that on the side. But he was a notorious pedophile, and he was arrested over in Ireland. So everything that was going on over there, Sinead was aware of and was upset about, and she was in the middle of it at that time. And she goes on Saturday Night Live and just puts a picture of the Pope in front of her and starts reading off or singing a Bob Marley song about children. And I don't remember the name of it, and I feel terrible that I don't. But she sang that song a cappella, ripped up the Pope in front of the camera, and walked off. And it was important enough to her that she didn't care if it ruined her career. And she later said that. She's like, my publicist said, "What are you, crazy? What are you doing?" And she was just like, "I don't care." Like, okay, they don't like me because of that. I'll never be invited on again because of that. Okay. They cut to commercial, but before they did, everybody saw it. And that was the point. So she was one of the biggest activists out there at that time, especially for the Catholic Church and everything that they were doing. And as soon as that happened, cardinal law broke. And then stuff started happening with the Vatican, and then we all got wind of everything that was going on. So she was way ahead of the game on that. So that's Sinead O'Connor. One of my other favorites is Dolores O'Riordan, and that's going to be the Cranberries. The Cranberries is the best. They're one of the best bands out there.
Yes.
She is. I think Dolores has one of the best voices I've ever heard. Like, I can't explain it, but she just had a really, really cool voice. She was dealing with a lot of mental illness, so it's sad. She passed away in 2018. But the Cranberries had probably the best song by not the best, but the most hardest hitting and probably most popular song that everybody knows is Zombie. That's really the one. And Zombie is about war. So it's about, I believe it was about the war in Ireland and what was going on over there at that time. But there's another song called Linger. That's my sister and I, we love that one. That's like a cool tune. Linger is good. But that first album they did is amazing. And then later on, I think, she did a couple of doo-wop tunes that were really cool. So her music changed over the years, but her voice was always amazing. So the Cranberries. And probably the biggest one that is between me and Kenny here would be U2. Right? And then there's all those different albums and sounds that U2 had from, my God, is it like, when did U2 start? Like the middle of the 80s?
Yep.
They were probably around from the 70s, but probably like in the early to mid 80s is when we started listening to U2, and it's just been since then, right?
Great. Bono's great.
And they went back and forth on streaming music, and much like Metallica did, they had issues with streaming music. And when everything happened, when we started doing stuff like, what are our streaming platforms, or the ones that are file sharing stuff like Napster and things like that, they got involved in trying to get that eradicated, or they were trying to get their music pulled. I mean, there were things that they were trying to deal with streaming music because they thought it was changing the industry. And to be honest with you, it really did.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. If you think about when we were kids growing up, to buy one song, you had to buy an album.
Yep.
And unless that song was famous enough and popular enough, they would not sell the single individually. They just wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
So you had to buy the whole album.
Yep.
So if you wanted a $3 song, you had to buy a $25 album or a $19 album or whatever it was. When we were kids, it was more like $10, but we had to buy the whole thing.
Yep.
And
sure did.
I don't know how you feel about that. Does that mean like it really roped us in? You know what I mean? To making sure we bought all the music. Some people were okay with that. Some people maybe thought they were right. But I'm saying there were times where you were not able to buy a single at one point. There were times like a song had to be out for a while before and become a single before you could buy it as a single. Yeah. Sometimes you had to buy the album. So it depends on what was going on. Yeah, singles were available, but yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes the whole album was great.
Right.
Sometimes the whole album was great.
The idea was that the 2 or 3 singles that they would release would make you want to buy the album. Then you would get to listen to, and this is going back into the 70s. Then you would listen to the entire album. They also would make albums that were like one continuous song. That was going on in the 70s in the albums, because to isolate one of the individual singles wasn't the way that the artist wanted to present whatever it is that they released, right? So,
right.
Anyway, those are some popular Irish musicians you may or may not have heard of. If you have not heard of them, then I would say go and look them up, listen to some of their music. Wrapping up Irish Week.
It's a great list. Great list. Great list. See, Ron, you can.
There were a lot of other ones that were very, very local to Ireland, but those are the ones that are probably.
Great list.
I didn't know they didn't. No Boomtown Rats. Are you sure?
No.
I'll have to look it up because I did not find Boomtown Rats on that list in any way that I researched.
No.
Anyway.
No.
Are you sure? Okay. I don't know. I was thinking Scotland, but I could be wrong. Anyway, if I missed the Boomtown Rats, I totally apologize.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize. It's great list. Great
I
list.
will if I missed them. I will if because they are a good band.
It's great list. Great list. Great list, yo. Standing ovation. Great list, yo.
He just confirmed it. All right, so it's 10, but we'll add 11 for Ron. And we'll say Boomtown Rats if that's the way it is. Then that's the way it is.
Ron.
You got to put that comment up, Ron. That was funny.
Oh boy. Huh? Thank you. Don't listen to Ron. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, where are we now? What's our next thing?
Is it congratulations?
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations. Hey. So I don't know, but I would like to congratulate actress, singer, songwriter, philanthropist, and business owner, Brandy Rihanna Norwood. She will be getting her Hollywood Star Walk of Fame in March 30th. So
Good for her.
Congratulations to her. Good for her. Congratulations to her, right? Right? Good for her. Congratulations to her.
Brandy.
Congratulations to her.
I love Brandy.
Me too.
I love Brandy.
I want to be down.
Yeah, so I have to talk about that first album was just, I just can't, I don't know what to say. That was one of the best albums at that time. You know, the older I get, and I think of the music we really had in the 80s and 90s was just
great.
And yeah, Brandy's debut album was no joke. It was no joke.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
one of the few albums I listened to all the way through, including like TLC, because I think Fan Mail was out at that time too.
Yep.
And all of those, just where you just throw the album on and you just you just listen to every tune.
Yep.
And I loved I Want to Be Down.
Here we go.
I did not. Maybe I did know. I don't remember. It's possible that I might have. I mean, so did Matthew Broderick, but that's
Right.
He did.
That's fine.
Matthew Broderick murdered or killed somebody. I don't know if you know that, but
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I remember the story. I speaking of Cinderella, I just watched Ever After last night, and you can't talk to me about that. That is the only Cinderella that I love. That is like my favorite Cinderella in the world. And I'm not saying that I didn't love Whitney Houston and Brandy, because who doesn't love that?
Right.
That was amazing, but it's still not my favorite. TSC got a lot. Well, they got a lot of love. They just didn't get much love from Pebbles and that crew. That's where they didn't get their love from.
Exactly.
LA Weed and all that. That they didn't get any money is what they didn't get.
Exactly.
They got a lot of love, but no funds.
Yep.
They got a lot of debt. They got a lot of bankruptcy is what they got. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I have to. I know a lot of people don't like Drew Barrymore. I don't mind Drew Barrymore. I love her. So I wouldn't compare the two. I think they would be completely different. But as far as Cinderella goes, I get it.
See, you on my list now. How could you disrespect Drew Barrymore? You on my list. She is on my list now. She is. I will expose you.
You just pissed Kenny off. Like that's it.
Yep. I'm gonna expose you.
I think I don't know. I like both of those, but Ever After is the top of my list. I just have to do it. Did the remix of I Want to Be Down give you cold chills? Video. Which one? I mean, I have a couple of them.
The one with Queen Latifah.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, anything with Dana Owens.
Remix.
I love it.
The remix.
Yeah.
My first crush.
You put Queen Latifah in anything, and I'm happy.
Oh.
If I could just sit down and have one drink with Dana Owens, I would be happy. I love her so much.
Shoot.
Love her so much.
Me too. Me too.
So much. I was talking about her birthday was like the other day. She's 56, right? Her birthday's like Wednesday.
Yeah, young kid.
And that first album of Queen Latifah was like, man, was no joke. No joke.
UNITY.
Well, how about Ladies First? I mean, the second, that was her second album. How about that first album with the Coming to My House and all that?
Ladies First. Hey.
Yeah. Like that.
They don't know.
Listen, they don't know. They don't know.
They don't know.
But they better ask somebody.
Woo! Yeah.
They better ask somebody.
They better find out.
Yep.
True story.
Yes, listen, Queen Latifah goes all the way back. Brian McKnight, Back It One's good. McKnight. That's a good tune. Okay. I'm not sure why it's not related to, but it's a good tune. Brian McKnight's cool.
Cool, he's all right. Cool.
So where are we? Do we have more congrats, or is it just Brandon Irwin?
Yeah, just Brandon Irwin. Congratulations to her. We are 7 minutes over.
We are over. We have one more to do, and it's pretty fast.
All right.
And it's this. Yeah, it's pretty. It's a kind of a cute little experiment. If you're a college student in Boston, this is right now what's happening in Boston. I think it's for the month. They started it They started on the 10th, I think, and they're running it until like almost mid-April. You can stop at a Call a Boomer phone booth on Commonwealth Avenue in Brookline, free of charge.
Hey,
connect with an older person living in a senior housing facility in Reno, Nevada. I think this is kind of cute. I like this. Like, if you're lonely and you just to talk. Who talks anymore? Like this in this world, right? So, Boston.com, they reported on March 10th that their biotech company, it's Matter Neuroscience is the name of the company. They set up the phones as part of a social experiment. It's based on data that show young people and seniors are the loneliest among age groups right now. So, the goal of the project is to inspire generational connection through meaningful conversations. And a plaque on the phone booth reads, calls work either way. If nobody picks up, the caller can leave a message. And Matter set up another set of phones earlier this year in San Francisco and in Abilene, Texas, designed to connect people across the political spectrum. The Boston project is set up to operate for a month, and if it's successful, they're hoping to extend it longer. So right now, if you're on Commonwealth Avenue, you should see a phone booth that says it's a dial-a boomer or call-a boomer. It should be a yellow banner. And you pick up the phone and like you can talk to somebody who is in a boomer generation and make their day. What's wrong with that? I think that's cute.
That's cute too. I like that.
I think it's cute. Right, like who the silly things they come up with. I think that's great. Right? Yep. I don't think anybody needs to know. That's a Gen Zer is going to want to know who started in the Andy Griffith Show. I don't think most of them are going to know who that show exists. But I think it's cool to kind of pick up a phone and talk to somebody on the other line to like maybe to combat any kind of loneliness for connection for humans. I just think it's cute. I like it. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to see what the results of it are. Kind of keeping an eye on it to see like what, because I'm sure they must have like some kind of, when they do a social experiment like that, they'll have some kind of like final information about what happened. But I think it's a cute little thing. I don't know if there's more than one phone. I feel like there is, but that's definitely where one of them is located. So go to Commonwealth Avenue, pick up a phone and talk to somebody.
Yep.
And maybe the two of you will become better people for it, right?
Exchange recipes. What?
Exchange recipes.
Yeah. That's
what Listen, you know, when I think about my own family and I think of like how many people that I could have talked to or wish I could talk to now, there's a certain point in your life where like you think the older relatives in your family it's not as important to you as when you get older. And so you get to a certain point, like you're like, man, I wish I could sit them all down now and talk to them about stuff, because now my head is in the right place to like get that information about my own family, about my history, but then just about like the world in that at that time. Well, I don't know how to change it. Call AAA, not the boom. Listen, a lot of boomers know how to change a tire, so that's not true.
Yep,
a lot of them know how to change a tire. A lot of them had changed their own tires. We didn't have AAA back then, so
nope, sure didn't.
You know. But yeah, it's who knows? Like you could find out some information about the past that's important or that's historically interesting to you, and something about that person and their life. And but you know, easier to have someone do it. That's how we got in the mess we're in right now. Everybody calling somebody else to do something for them so they don't have to do it. Kenny, you gotta call Kenny. Call Danny.
Oh yeah. He's right on my list. Right at the top of my list.
So I guess that's kind of like local news, but yeah. Call a boomer.
Call a boomer.
What a catchy name.
Call a boomer.
My grandmother once told me it was about walking to school as a child in England with gas masks because of the current war. Yeah, I mean, there's so crazy. Many. There's so many things that you can't even imagine that people just lived. You know, I don't know. So, and then if you can talk to somebody about how they live their life. I mean, think about technically boomers now would have been like living in the middle of like the 19th century. There would be, I mean, we're almost 100 years into that. We're almost 100 years into this century. So it's, you know, to find out what was going on 100 years ago or 75 years ago or whatever the case may be. If you find it interesting, it's a good thing to do. So call a boomer.
Yeah. Call a boomer.
Yes.
Call a boomer.
Yeah. So where are we going from here, Kenny? Oh, we're done. Did we do
we're
the
done.
show?
Tomorrow.
We're a little discombobulated,
We
but we
did
got
it.
it done today. We did it.
We got
We
through
did
it.
it.
We got through it.
Us and Afroman, we all did it.
Yes.
So tomorrow, Kenny and Ron are kicking off Bear Week. Is that correct?
Bear Week.
You know, that bear getting ejected from the plane is just like the segue we all didn't know we needed, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're kicking off Bear Week tomorrow. This is Kenny and Ron tomorrow. So like today, but without me. And they're gonna do their thing. 10 o'clock Sunday morning is always Kenny and Ron. Maybe Ron will have a top 5. Maybe Kenny won't like it. Tune in.
Of course I won't.
He won't. He won't like it. He never does. I think once he did though. Didn't he once like it and like the world froze over or something?
Yeah, that's what happened. That's why you got all that snow.
Nice.
I think twice. That's why
are
we got
you
all that
making an
snow.
appearance tomorrow? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess is it.
Oh boy, here we go. Good. So I can expose you. I can expose you. Good.
That'll be fun. So yeah, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, tune in. Kenny and Ron will be on. And Abounding Health, is that Becky?
Yeah, yep, go.
I want to make sure that I'm talking to Becky. So yeah, Becky's supposed to be making an appearance tomorrow. Do you know why, Becky? I guess we can't tell. We have to wait till tomorrow to find out. As a surprise segment. Okay. Surprise. So yeah, anyway, tomorrow at 10 o'clock and pretty much every day at 10 o'clock, we've got it going on daily. It was a good day to have a fun conversation. Everybody go get your Saturday stuff done. I'm going to go finish my coffee. And we will see you later. You guys have a great day. Bye.